take a look at this rolling vista. Beneath its blistered fields like caves of destiny, with untapped fate, undiscovered waiting for you to stake your claim upon their richest sea. This churchyard holds its share of history, its small graves littering its body silent green. How many may oh miss their calling through time spent stalling for what they could have been. And though you be a time to suck a lie, one day you may be shining bright. Become a glorious sun, cast your light on everyone, radiate your creative divine. Procrastinate, and time will rob you of all the things that you cannot achieve. Mistakes breed strength, don't let them deter you from finding yourself and live your own sea. For there are those who would control your course for you, and there are those who would seek to steal your dreams. So let it rock their weak foundations to see you reap the treasures of your own sea. And though you be a time satellite, one day you may be shining bright. Become a glorious sun, cast your light on everyone, radiate your creative delight. This journey, the world is getting smaller, and you can do things of which I could only dream. So let it be your crowning glory, the untold story of your own sea. Come take a look at this rolling vista, this corrupt and realistic picture of rust and legacy. From mighty halls, never deny it. Jump up and cry it as you dig your own sea. Oh, get up there and dig your own sea. Oh, get up there and dig your own rich sea. Dig your own rich sea.
Yes! Yes, yes.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
Oh,
Not to worry, I can always cut it off at the beginning.
One.
Douglas when we were still at school. He was me very best friend, but I passed him as a stranger in the street the other day. He didn't even know me face. And little Cathy Thompson, eyes of blue and hair of gold, I vowed I'd love her till the end of time. But we were young and I failed to realise she would never be mine. I remember the times when we used to laugh and play, but this cruel world always seems to take those times away. It all seems like a dream that just happened yesterday. Those times will never come again. We rang bells and ran through gardens, caused no harm to anyone, and the roads and the fields were on. We'd mucky all of our best clothes, jumping becks and climbing trees, and stayed out late, didn't want to go back home. And the gypsy camp battlefield where we used to play balls was innocent fun and games back then. Oh, but now we're acting out all of our battle plans for real, though we say we're fully grown men. I remember the times that we used to laugh and play, but this cruel will always seem to take those times away. It all seems like a dream that just happened yesterday. These times will never come again. So we used to laugh and play, but this world always seems to take those times away. It all seems like a dream that just happened yesterday, but those times will never come again. In our ignorance and bliss, we were happy in our lives, and our innocence could never let us down. On grassy moors we chased, in greeny lanes we roamed, creating our own world in our town. But it could never last forever. Fate caught up on us in time and turned our whole world upside down. For our minds then knew of guilt and all the pain of love and hate, while our dreams they lay shattered on the ground. I remember the times that we used to laugh and play, but this cruel will always seem to take those times away. It all seems like a dream that just happened yesterday. Those times will never come again. Oh, what happened to you? Whatever happened to me? What became of the people we used to be?
That was excellent. Excellent.
That's pretty slow.
Right.
In our Durham County, I am sorry for to say that hunger and starvation is increasing every day. For the ones of food and cold
with your kind assistance we will soon struggle through.
I need instead the reasons why we have been brought so long. The masters have behaved unkind, as everyone will know. For we won't lie down and let them treat us as they like. To punish us, they've stopped the pits and caused the present strike.
They every Durham colliery owner lies in the fog. They save 9 lashes with a rod and then be rubbed with salt. Face back, be thick with oils so that he can never sit and never burst till all the wheels come round at every pitch.
For the pulley wheels have ceased to move that once went swift around. The horses and the ponies too have been brought from underground. Our work is taken from us, they cannot if we die. For they can eat the best of food and drink the best when dry.
Why the miner and his poor wife too, each morning have to roam to seek the bread, to feed the hungry little bands of yam. The flour barrel, well it's empty now, their true and faithful friend, which makes the thousands wish that the strife is at an end.
As honest working men, to let the pits commence again, we've offered to them 10. Now the offer they will not accept, they firmly do demand 13.5%, or let the collieries stand.
Well, let them stand or let them lie, do them as you choose. To give them 13.5, we ever shall refuse. They're always willing to receive and not inclined to give, and very soon they won't allow the working man to live.
With tyranny and capital, they never rest content, unless they are endeavouring to take from us percent. If it was due, what they request, we willingly would grant. But we know it's not, therefore we cannot give them what they want. Now the miners of Northumberland
we shall forever praise. A face of kind in helping us these tyrannizing days. We thank the other counties too, for they've been doing the same. And everyone that hears this song will know
Right. Oh, my name is Geordie Black, and I'm getting very hard, but I've used tons of calling me time. And when I was a lad, I could either put or you, but the other ones we'd always stand to shine. Now I'm going to the bank, and I cannot use me pick, for the master has no pity on old bones. Aye, and you were on the back, in a man the bits of lads, upon the heath a picking stones. Oh, me name is Geordie Black, in me time I've been a crack, and I were all the Gus and the Betty, and for calls upon the tide, and the others we took the shine, and we licked them all for iron down at Hartson. Now when I was just a lad, carried on me father's back, he'd take us away to the pit, and getting in the cage and then getting to me laugh was enough to make a youngster take a fit. But to sit and keep the door with the darkness and the gloom, and many a weary hour by me cell, and to hear the awful shots rumble around the pit, and the lots of Rooney call come down pell-mell. Oh, me name is Geordie Black, in me time I've been a crack, and I've learned all the Gus and the Betty, and for calls upon the tide, and the others we took the shine, and we licked them all for iron down at Harkson's. Now I'll bid yous all good night, 'cause it's nearly time to louse, and I hope I've tried to please your everyone. And when you pray to meet, do all the things that's right, 'cause in this world that's the way to get along. Well, here's success to trade, both on the weir and time, I didn't like to see the places slack, for if our pit lies idle, then he wages come the day, it grieves the heart of poor Geordie Black. Oh, me name is Geordie Black, in me time I've been a crack, and I've learned both the Gus and the Betty, and for calls upon the tide, and the others we took the shine, and we licked them all for iron down at Hart's, and we licked them all for iron down at Hart's.
Do you want a coffee before you start?
No.
No, okay.
I'll get one when I'm done. Cheers, pet. And I've got with... Oh, shit. Oh, that's professional. I've
That
got
sounds
feedback.
lovely. That sounds nice.
Oh, forgot to do that bit, didn't I?
Does this go out in the night or an afternoon? Should we say good evening or good afternoon or?
Well, it goes out worldwide all at once. So.
Of course.
Hello.
Wow.
Good morning and good evening.
It goes out.
How many languages can you say hello in?
Goes out about 1:30 lunchtime in Canada.
Oh, happy dinner time.
It goes out 6 o'clock here,
Right.
and then an hour or so later in Europe, and goodness knows,
Right, I won't say good afternoon.
yeah, because it goes right round the world at once. So.
Fantastic.
And the Australians are very keen on it.
Oh, good.
Alright.
Yeah, we like the Aussies.
I'm forever getting messages from the Australians and from the Canadians. We love your accent. A singer said she'd swap her voice for my accent. Jealous.
Very good.
And I've got with me 2 members of the Whisky Priests. Hello. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Gary. I sing, play guitar.
Hey, yeah, and I'm Mick and I play the mandolin and the bouzouki.
And the banjo.
And the banjo sometimes.
And anything else we can find to strap
Anything with
around them.
strings on except the tennis racket.
So you've just been playing a few songs for me. You've got some plans for the future?
Well, we've always got plans. They don't always come to fruition because sometimes we have too many plans. But no, I mean the band is reforming for we're having a reunion tour at the end of October, mid-October through to the beginning of November, aren't we?
November the 5th. It finishes just in time for Bonfire Night.
Ooh.
And these will be our first official live concerts for 14 years.
Wow.
We all went off and did other things in the meantime, and Providence has brought us back together.
Mainly we went off and got old. and basically we organised a few concerts when we hit certain milestone ages. Gary's 50th, my 60th.
We thought
we got back together for the fun of it.
Yeah, just to play at each other's respective parties.
Just to private parties, and there was a lot of interest. A lot of people said you should think about doing some more concerts. So we thought about it, and here we are.
And it was always it was always open that we might reunite at some point. You know, the band never kind of officially ended as such. Just went on a really long term hiatus. You know, so it now just seems things just fell into place. Things just came together. There was no kind of calculated plan or anything. It just happened, and it just felt right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. If it feels right, go for it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a gang of mates doing it again for the crack, you know.
Yeah.
Which has been the real.
Yeah, that's how we hope it's coming across, because there is a certain amount of pressure to put a good show together, but not like we were in the old days where we had to play concert after concert after concert to keep the cash flow coming in and that sort of thing. We're not under that sort of pressure, although it does have its pressures anyway, trying to get us all back together.
You had quite a few albums out in your day.
A few,
Yeah,
a few.
I've got quite a few of them.
Yeah, I see them on the shelf.
Are you releasing a new album to go with this tour?
Not exactly. Really, the whole idea behind the show is to kind of celebrate the history and legacy of the band first and foremost. So the emphasis is on presenting the Whisky, the material that we recorded back in the day. We're presenting those songs, or a selection of those songs, but to coincide with that, we're releasing a box set. The tour is called Bloody Well Back. We did an album in 1993 called Bloody Well Live, recorded live at the Markthalle in Germany. So we wanted to carry on that kind of that tag, you know, that theme. So the tour is called Bloody Well Back, and we're releasing a box set called Bloody Well Everything, which is all the albums and rarities and this, that, and the other, like everything we recorded back in the day in one handy to keep little box set. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of coming out for the tour. It all seemed, that seemed the right thing, and we didn't know when we first started with this how it was all going to go and how it was all going to develop, and it just there was no kind of thought process about like we must do a new album straight away. Let's see how this goes first, see if there's an interest and see if we enjoy it, and once we've celebrated the legacy with this tour, who knows, next year we might think about doing a new album, doing another tour. It all depends how things go. Nothing's set in stone. But there's no lines being drawn under anything either. We'll just sort of see what happens and take it from there. But we've got plenty of material if we want to do another album. So
so it's aimed at your previous fans who really miss hearing your music.
Up to a point,
If it attract some new fans, that's a plus.
Well, we're hoping our old fans are going to bring the grandkids. So it's that kind of thing now. Time's moved on, and all of a sudden we're of an age where people will start bringing grandkids to concerts and stuff like that. And, and we hope that happens very much. So.
That's it. I mean, we hope we know that a lot of the old fans will be coming to the shows, but like I say, we're hoping to attract a new audience. Like Mick says, I mean, it's all I think there is an audience hopefully out there for it, because back in the late 80s through the 90s, when we were doing the Whisky Priest and travelling around country after country and really sort of slugging it, we were the sort of music we were playing there wasn't really a massive audience for it at the time. It was seen as quite a fringe genre. We were having all these labels thrown at us like folk punk and things like that, which we never really considered. We were just doing what we did, and
yeah.
But it was hard, to get recognition for what we were doing, because we were very much a cult band we were a cottage industry cult band with a very close-knit sort of fan base, and that was great. But now, since the Whisky Priest has been in hiatus, we're seen now as sort of godfathers and pioneers of this particular genre of folk music, called folk punk or whatever, which we don't really, like I say, we never sort of try to subscribe to that. But that's what we all this stuff, all people are saying, you pioneered this folk punk thing, and suddenly it's gone global, and there's fan bases in Japan and America and all, where where those countries didn't know anything about the Whisky Priest back then. It was impossible to get interest for what we were doing on a worldwide basis. But I think now there's obviously a market there, and hopefully some of these people who've come in, we actually found that when we played in Germany and Holland and countries like that, a lot of other people would form bands because they'd seen us play.
Yeah.
A lot of people came and sort of copied our style of music and everything. So, and then some of them went on to have more success than we did. So hopefully, there's an audience out there that we've never sort of experienced before.
Yeah, well, the internet's been wonderful for that sort of thing, for spreading things wider than their original.
Yeah. And we were just talking recently about how back in the day when we used to tour, we had a European road map and a transit van, and that was it.
No sat-nav then.
No sat-nav, no mobile phones, big pile of change in our pockets if we wanted to phone home, and then all of a sudden we try and do this and the whole world's changed.
Yeah.
And at the age I am, I'm not used to it. I just get in the van and drive, basically, and then play the instruments on the night.
Right, so you've been doing some songs for me. Can you tell me a little bit about them? First off, Rich Theme.
Right, well, that was a song I wrote I think I wrote that in about 2000. It was originally written and recorded for a non-Whisky Priests project, an album by a trio called Mad Dogs and Englishmen, which was myself and my brother Glenn and our friend Joseph Porter from the band Blythe Power. We put this trio project together, and we released a CD called Going Down with Alice. It was the only CD we released under that guise. And Rich Theme was originally recorded for that album, and it's since gone on to be a song that's had a sort of legs to it. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's one of your best songs. You should get it out there a bit more." And a friend of mine, Marie Little, recorded a really nice version of it. So it's a song that's been around for a while, but hasn't really had a lot of exposure. Mm-hmm. Who knows? We've not been playing it with a Whisky Priest, but who knows? We might put that in the set list. And I know somebody else who's considering doing a cover version of it as well. It's just about looking to, it's the idea is it's in a way it kind of fits in with what we're doing with the Whisky Priest, because it's about sort of appreciating your roots and opportunities in life and grabbing them, and having a positive outlook towards taking the present and the past and what the greatness of what's around, in those terms, whether it be locality or family or whatever, and just running with it and with positivity and building a future. A lot of people, that they live unfulfilled lives. It's an easy trap to fall into because they don't take the risks and grab the opportunities that are there. So Rich seems kind of
Carpe diem.
It's that kind of theme, really.
The second song you did was Halcyon Days.
Yeah, well, we did that on the first Whisky Brace album, didn't we?
First Whisky Brace album with a full band arrangement.
Yeah, that was the Nay Good Luck album in 1989. Again, that was one of my songs. It's fairly straightforward, really. It's
Celebrating
I think
childhood.
Yeah.
It's about looking back with not just with nostalgia or whatever, but just kind of looking back a little bit wistful and sort of kind of like appreciating what you had when but not necessarily looking back,
Not necessarily wanting to be back there,
but just sort of it's just about looking back and reflecting, really.
Yes, I enjoyed that song very much, and it struck chords with me.
Right.
It really did.
Yeah.
It was actually a strange coincidence because when we recorded it, we used a couple of lines at the end from the theme music to the Likely Lads.
Yes.
And if anybody has seen any of the episodes of the Likely Lads, the start photograph as it comes on is a picture of some bridges with buses going over and some old waste kind of warehouses. But strangely enough, the warehouse on the right of that shot is the Clooney Music Club in Newcastle, and that is where the studio was where we recorded Nay Good Luck. So it's kind of a spooky coincidence that.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So that was a song that we did a lot live back in the day. It was one of our sort of most. I think it's probably my favourite song off the Nay Good Luck album. I think it's one of my early songs that I'm most proud of, and it's still so. It was nice. It's nice for Mick and me to be able to play it in a much more sort of relaxed.
Yes, because you've changed the arrangement a bit, haven't you?
Yeah,
to suit us as a duo, but obviously we reverse it with the band, and with the band it's still the up-tempo version it ever was, but it's sometimes nice to play it in a different speed and a different feeling to it.
Yeah.
And it will be in the set when we do the reunion tour. It's going to be in the
with the whole seven-piece band, so it won't quite sound like that.
It'll be a much sort of more up-tempo, full-on version, but it's nice to be able to do songs in different ways, really.
It is, yes. Now you then did Durham Lockout for us.
Yes, Durham Lockout, great song, Tommy Armstrong lyrics, and to the tune of Tramps and Hawkers, which somebody reminded me of a few weeks ago when I played it. It's not the Durham Lockout, it's Tramps and Hawkers. Sounds like the Monty Python thing, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does, rather.
So anyhow, it's the Durham Lockout to the tune of Tramps and Hawkers.
Yeah. And again, we've done that again today because it's another song that we're planning on performing on the reunion tour. It's another kind of nod to our early years with the band. We did about 3 Tommy Armstrong songs on our early records. We also recorded versions of Row Between the Cages and the Orchestrated Evictions. So we thought we'd do that one today because it allows us to sort of like swap the vocals between us, and also it's a little teaser for what we're going to be doing on the tour as well. Excellent. And that was also on our Nay Good Luck album back in 1989, so that one's one that we've had kind of sitting around for some time as well. It's nice to dust them off and give them bring them back to life again.
Yes. Sometimes with a new lease of life.
I think so, yeah. I mean, that's been, again, with the reunion, one of the things we found rehearsing, because we're all older now, and maybe some of us are a little bit wiser. I'm not sure about all of us, but some of us maybe.
Possibly slightly better musicians than we might be. Yeah,
exactly, and all that, and also the fact that we've all got a lot of rich life experience. We've all been through the mill and several times. We're enjoying the process of preparing for the tour with the rehearsal. I mean, it is sounding fresh, because, you know, it's enjoyable, it's fun.
That's the way it should be, though, isn't it?
I don't think we would have embarked on this if we didn't think we were going to have a good time.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
The final track you did for me was Geordie Black.
Geordie Black. Yeah.
Again, another song we recorded way back with the Whisky Priest that was originally on an EP called Grandfather's Father back in 1988. And
That's Grandfather's Father, to anybody who needs to translate. My grandfather's father.
Because I know your programme goes out worldwide, so that might confuse people, yeah. But yeah, Geordie Black, another sort of song with a coal mine and theme from the northeast. So yeah, and again, you know, with the another thing with although we had a long career with the Whisky Brace, it's kind of again part of the idea behind the reunions. We're taking it right back to the band's original roots and what the band's original vision was. You know, back to being very much about the northeast of England. That's something that's important. We're really embracing that again, that side of it.
That's great. So where does your tour take you?
Well, it takes us to England. It takes us to the far off metropolis that is Darlington. And we started out on the 13th, Saturday the 13th of October is our first official gig together for some 14 years.
Yeah. So it's nice to be kicking the tour off on, you know, more or less on home turf.
Yeah, which means we can get home to bed that night, which is the main thing. Because I need my sleep these days. Now I've gone the wrong side of 60.
So yeah,
There's no more rock and roll. It's Horlicks and straight to bed.
Don't you believe it? He's only saying that because his family's listening. Anyway, no, seriously. The Saturday the 13th, and that's at the Forum Music Centre in Darlington. We're really looking forward to that because we really like the venue. We chose that venue specifically.
It is a super venue.
And, you know, a shout out to Alison who runs it because her daughter Hayley's my second cousin. So I've got family links there as well, and bit of nepotism really. So give them a shout. Give my cousin Hayley McKay. She's really good. Listen out for Hayley. So you know we've got a family link with the Forum. We love the venue. We've all myself and Mick have often been to see gigs there ourselves. So it's familiar to us, and familiarity always helps. And we know it's got the kind of facilities that allow us to put on the kind of show that we want to, and that, you know, it'll be just a good way to start the tour.
Yeah.
And then where do you go?
We're off to London to play at the Borderline, which is a very prestigious London venue, and then we're going up to Whitby. We're going whaling. Yeah, we're going up to Whitby to eat at the Magpie if they've rebuilt it yet, and we're doing a concert up there.
Oh yes, it burnt down, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, we're playing the Pavilion Theatre as part of the Music Port Festival. Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's our first ever gig in Whitby. Actually, I don't think we've ever played in Whitby before. So
I have.
You have, yeah. But it'll be the first for the Whisky Priests. Mick's played everywhere. He's been everywhere. There's nothing he hasn't done.
Yeah.
So yeah. So just the 3 shows in the UK. Right. That's another thing about the tour. We again, it was a deliberate decision to keep it very exclusive. Only a handful of shows. So 3 in the UK. Miss them at your peril.
Yeah.
And then we've got about half a dozen shows in.
Couple in Holland.
Just 3 countries in
Europe.
Couple
in Austria, couple in Germany. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. And then we'll kind of take stock, see how well it went, and decide how we proceed.
Yeah.
Once we get back.
Great. Now, talking about the first performance as a live band for 14 years, what have you been doing in the interim?
Right. Who do you want to go first, me or you?
Well, I got a proper job and I went back to work. Because I had a family to feed. But no, that's it. I've stuck in with the folk music. I got involved with 2 friends of mine, Richard Doran and Sylvia Doran, and we put a folk group together called Tip in the Wink, and we put a CD out, and we did a lot of playing around the area, and basically I kept out of things. learned how to play different instruments because I used to play the bass with the Whisky Priests, and you can't really sit at home and entertain yourself with a bass guitar.
But
So
Tip and the Wing did a session for Liz.
I think we possibly
session
did.
for
Yes, you did.
That's right. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
And and then kind of out of the blue, Gary got in touch about his and his brother's 50th, and do we want to do it? And yeah, why not? Why not? So it's kind of come up from there. And I've moved across instrument wise, and now I'm playing the melody stuff with the band instead of the bass, which I'm enjoying.
Yeah, and we've got the original
Bass
player.
player's back. He's got his job back.
'Cause I've always known you as a mandolin player.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
originally I was the bass player with
Yeah.
the Whisky Priest, and then moved on to with Tip in the Wig. I moved on to onto the melody instruments and basically stuck with them, and I enjoy playing them now. So I'm not that bothered that I'm not the bass player anymore.
No.
And Mickey, who was the original bass player, is a fine fella, and I'm enjoying having him. We're enjoying having him back again.
It's working well. The structures work of the lineup's working really well. So.
And you, Gary, I know you've done some the Mad Martins stuff.
That's one thing I've done, yeah. Well, I've kind of kept my hand in the music industry as well. I got after the Whisky Priests came stopped touring back in the early 2000s. I got heavily involved in community arts as running workshops, as songwriting workshops and things like that, which was a real joy to me. I found, through the whole time with the Whisky Brace, had been great, but everything, it felt like I was in my own bubble with that and doing things for my sake, so to then be able to take my experience and, aid other people into writing songs and stuff. It was brilliant, I mean, I got a real buzz out of that I'd never experienced before. It was like a whole new side of things. So I still do things like that to this day. I worked as a music agent for a while for an agency called Adastra, who are now called Strada, and I worked for a lot of artists on the folk scene, booking gigs for them. Which again was quite an eye-opening experience as well. I worked as a music industry tutor for a couple of years at York College, but I was out and occasionally doing bits and pieces with my own. I went through a period in my life where I wasn't able to perform anymore. I'd lost my confidence and I stopped playing for a while, and then it gradually came back up. I did an album in 2005 with an old friend of ours who used to be our agent in Germany, a guy called Ralph Weirauk. He used to be our agent, but he's also a great accordionist as well. And I did an album with him, an album and a tour with him in 2005. Then in 2010 I released an album called Reflections on War. It was my first solo album, which came out of one of the community arts projects I'd done at York Art Gallery for York Museums. And that kind of almost kick-started things again, but I still wasn't in a place where I felt ready to go back into it in a big way. In the meantime, I'd been working on this Mad Martins project with my friend Keith Armstrong, the poet from Tyneside, for quite a while, and that finally got completed last year with my partner Helen doing the artwork for it, a 100-page book to house 3 CDs. And Helen and me, we've been together a couple of years now, and we're now sort of partners together with our creativity, because Helen's an illustrator and artist, and she does, as well as doing her own stuff, she's now the official Whisky Priest visual director. So she does all the art and design for the Whisky Priests now.
Great idea.
And last year the two of us did a project which Mick came in on board on as well, for the DLI Research and Studies Centre at Spennymoor. There was an exhibition that they were put a year-long travelling exhibition called When the Bugle Calls, and they contacted me because they wanted to use the Whisky Priest song The Durham Light Infantry, again, which we'd recorded back on our Nay Good Luck album in '89. They asked if they could have permission to include that in the exhibition. I said, well, funnily enough, I've always wanted to record it and bring it up to date, and can I do a new version of it for you? Which and I'd never been satisfied with the words anyway. It was one of the first songs I ever wrote for the band when I was about 19 years old. So there's a bit of naivety about the lyrics for me, and I rewrote the words, got in contact with my local brass band, the Furriel Town Band, wrote them in, we recorded a version of it with them playing on it, and we recorded some other songs. And for this project, I think we did 4 songs. Mick performed on them, and Mick joined. I put a little scratch band together with Mick to perform at Bishop Auckland Town Hall for the opening of the exhibition. And we've since found out that the exhibition is going to be travelling nationwide now.
Excellent.
And some of our works in there, some of Helen's works, couple of my songs, the Whisky Bracer are part of the exhibition. So that's great.
It was nice to do the opening night. It was in Bishop Auckland Town Hall, and to play the songs because there were a lot of DLI veterans there, the old guys, and to talk to some of them at the end. I mean, amazing lives they've had, and you know, they just take my hat off to them. These old veterans, and such cheerful old men, you know, and when you imagine what they've been through, and you know, it was an honour. It was an honour to meet them, to tell you the truth. The old DLI
they were good
guys.
crack. They were interesting guys.
Yeah.
But yes, and since then, I've been adding more to my DLI songs. I've been writing more and more songs about the DLI. A lot of songs that tell personal stories, and we're putting together this bigger scale project called From Coalfield to Battlefield, which tells the story of the Durham Light Infantry through people's personal tales, you know, and it goes some of the songs go all the way back to the 19th century, you know, Waterloo and the Crimea, and so it chronicles the whole history, and we're trying to get some funding to record an album of that, and we're hoping to do a show next year, get various people playing on it, and Helen's doing loads of artwork for it as well, and Helen and me have also been asked by the DLI Research and Study Centre to develop it even further with skills workshops and stuff. So that's something that's developing massively. It's grown from a small acorn, if you like. So that's but it's trying to fit everything in, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mad Martins project, we had high hopes for that, and it's had to go on the back burner so that we can focus on the Whisky Brace. You know, it's like trying to juggle with one hand all the time. And you know, me and Mick want to do more together, and I think Mick's been talking to Richie and Sylvia about doing a new Tip of the Wing album.
Doing the second Tip of the Wing album, but we'll see how that goes. See what happens.
That would be wonderful.
So there's lots and lots of irons in the fire. Things going on, and not enough hours in the day, really.
Well,
that's the problem.
I'm very honoured that you could make it through to be with me today.
Oh, for you, Liz, we'll always make an exception.
Available for you, Liz.
Yeah. Weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, and the Liz Franklin show. That's definitely the mantra.
Well, thank you very much. It's been an absolute treat, and I hope I see you again soon, and tell me more of what's developed from all your projects.
We've got lots of stories. That's just scratching the surface. But thanks for having us anyway.
Thank you very much.
We've enjoyed it. Thanks, Liz. Thank you.
You got enough there?
I have.